Hey there, YouTube, slasher chicks and slasher dudes. My name's Alicia, and this is Slasher Chick TV, and this is day 39 of 90 consecutive days of live streaming. I'm getting ahead of myself. I gave myself an extra week. It's day 32, but I'm kind of Marshawn Lynch in here right now where I'm like, I'm just here so I won't get fined. And I'm trying to find this action here because I've been down. I don't want to call it down the rabbit hole. I've been researching, okay? Researching how the YouTube algorithm works. And one of the things that I know is that there are a couple of types of viewers or subscribers, per se. And I would like to remove any subscribers from my channel that are not active, that don't necessarily like my content. Now, why I'm saying they don't like my content is that, well, one, I had a lot of time in which I wasn't active, right? So there's a thing that they call, for like, I wrote in here in the title, dormant subscribers, but they also call it like dead subscribers. And what happens is if you have a bunch of dormant subscribers and they're not watching your content, then what it says to YouTube is that your content isn't valuable, right? If I say have 1,000 subscribers, but I can only get 10 to watch my videos, then it tells YouTube only 10% of the people in my community find them valuable. So they're less likely to share it with more people than they would be if I had, say, 50 subscribers and 10 people in my community watched that video and found it valuable. Because if I had 50 subscribers and 10 people in my community were watching that video, it's saying 20% of that community finds it valuable. They're more, it's a higher percentage, right? They're just more apt now to share that with a different group. So I knew there had to be a way to, like, I could have sworn I heard there was a way to get rid of dead subscribers, right? Or dormant subscribers, that there was a way to basically remove people from your channel who no longer came to view your channel. Um, and so I'm going to delve into that right now. So the first thing I found, I just tried it and it wasn't working. It told me to go into subscribers, and all I can find is the channels that I subscribe to, or at least that's what it looks like to me. So let me just show you what I mean. So here with the recent subscribers, if I go to see all, then now that's it within the last 90 days. But if I want to go within a lifetime, now I can see all the channels that I've ever subscribed and when they subscribed, back from the date they subscribed, wow, to the beginning. So the first, my first subscriber ever is my mom and my best friend, my closest friends. Oh, interesting. He still subscribed. Okay. Anyway, um, so this is like, yeah, this whole first page is like people that know and care about me. That's what it feels like. And then we go on, and I don't know some of these channels, so I've never seen them in my comments. Um, so I don't know why they would still be subscribed to my channel. Okay, well, I'll I'll make it bigger when we get to the part that then actually adds value. Um, because it was actually like kind of our discussion that was getting me into thinking about this, of how I can better even explain like how what I do know about how YouTube algorithm works and what it's looking at. But let's see here. I'm going to share this one instead because I'm trying to figure out where I go find this, and then when I get back to it, I'll zoom in so we can see better. But it is. in everything I did research, they recommend doing this, like going to check and reviewing your subscribers to see where you have dormant subscribers and removing them so it doesn't impact your engagement numbers, because that's what you want. Because now I'll go back to share this and I'll do it a little. I'm making this bigger only because here's the thing that YouTube cares about the most, okay? I'm going to go to the analytics. Content analytics. They care most about the watch time. But what's going to determine whether they show your channel to other people or not is really more than anything going to be about not the impressions, but how long they view your content. Where's that one at? Oh, wait, now I need to zoom back out. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's content. No, not in the views. Average view duration. That's what we're looking for. Maybe it's an overview. Oh, here we go. What they care more about is this column right here, your average view duration, and what that percentage is. Hey, Coach Sherry. And that percentage is going to determine whether they're sharing out your content. The higher this percentage is, the more likely your content to get shared. But like, that's the goal, is to continue to increase this percentage, because it's likely to be shared at like a 40%. 30 is like just average good, but it's not really going to get shared out until you're like at 40%. So that's what the goal is, always to increase your average view duration. Along with that is, the more it says to YouTube, oh, people are enjoying this content, let me share more of it. Now, if I want to go see, well, who are the people then that are messing up my average view duration, this is how I could do it. So let's see where it says, this is where you go. Go to settings, community, and under comment, select hidden users. Oh, okay. That's how to block people. We're not trying to do that. We're going to remove subscribers. Okay, let me zoom in. Setting, navigate to subscribers. Next to their name or profile, click on the remove option. I didn't see that when we were in there. But let's try. Wait, what did it say to go? Settings and subscribers. Okay. So I'm in the account. Yeah. Settings. Oh, there we go. I was in the wrong section. Aha. Settings, community. I'm not sharing the right tab, so hold on. Okay, so it's in the same section of where you would put your moderators. Hidden users. Oh, these are people I blocked. That's what that means. Okay, none of that is telling me what I need to do. In your YouTube account section, navigate to subscribers. I know there's a way to do this, though. Maybe it's in channel, but there's definitely a way to remove subscribers who are dormant on your channel, because there's a way to search for, like, when's the last time this person even looked at my channel. I'm not giving up, y'all, until I find this. This is the whole purpose of me being here this evening, is I am going to solve this mystery for myself, because it's one of the things I look at too. And that, like, if I go to a channel and they've got, say, I'm going to 500,000 subscribers, but they're getting 1,000 views per video, I know that that engagement is low in terms of, like, YouTube's not pushing them out heavily, but they're also not able to garner like a large sponsorship rates that add value to their channel, if that's what the engagement is like. You don't have to have 500,000 subscribers on YouTube to get sponsorships. Do you have to have good engagement? You have to have a community that sponsors believe, oh, your community is actively engaged in your content? Yes. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. How do you remove someone who's not? Okay, so here we go. Here's another step-by-step guide. Everything is saying there's a section called subscribers on the left-hand side of the screen, and I do not see such a thing. Did I not go down far enough? I mean, there's a comment section that's not called subscribers. So maybe I'm missing something. And or maybe it's in advanced. Have any of y'all ever heard this, or do you feel like is this the first time that you've heard such a thing? Approved users, hidden users, yeah, definitely people I blocked. Creator demographics, nope, that ain't it either. All right, we're going to keep searching because now originally I had found this on Reddit. So we're just going to go back to Reddit. Now, here's Reddit's one of the main reasons I know that I can figure this out, because if you've ever heard of Reddit, you've probably heard lots of negative stories about Reddit, right? But my Reddit threads are only positive things because I have trained my Reddit algorithm. It doesn't serve me crap. It doesn't serve me crap because I make sure crap doesn't go in my Reddit algorithm. So if it's trainable there, it's trainable here. Yes, I remember that too, Coach Sherry, that YT used to do it for you if people weren't consuming your content. And I would much rather, I appreciate that. But I know I'm one of those viewers where I have lots of channels that I'm subscribed to that I never consume their content, nor am I going to go look for them. And I would think they would prefer not to have me as a number on there either. But I don't know. So maybe you can't anymore. Maybe this used to be a thing and it's not anymore because this is saying you can't do it. But then that's 4 years old. So I don't know. I'm not, if that's the case, right, and you can't delete them, then if you've got a lot of dormant subscribers, is the only option now start a new channel? Start over from scratch so that you know it's real? I mean, that feels like one option. And I don't know if that's the option. Now, the other option is the thing that I hear is that what you can do is when you go to upload the content is to, let me see if I can find, I would have to be pretending to post one, but let's see. When you go to upload it, don't check the box that sends it to your subscribers. And that way, since it won't be sending it to that community, it is more likely to share it out to new viewers, viewers that don't normally get your content. So that's also One way to do it. Now, the other thing I did want to show y'all tonight, and this blew my mind. Okay, I think I'm gonna share it with like no context, and then get your opinion. So okay, what I was talking about is there is. Let me see if you can see it when if I don't have a video to put. Oh, okay. Here's one. All right. So there's a checkbox for share this with your subscribers. And then allegedly, if you don't check that box, it helps you retrain the algorithm of like share this with new people based on the keywords and content that I put in here. So where is that? It's down towards, aha. Here, I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so see here where it says publish to subscription feed and notify subscribers. This is for it's to publish to those who are subscribed to you in that subscription tab, and then for people who check the bell, right? If you uncheck this, now it's not going to immediately serve it to them. And so you can see, all right, if it serves it to people who are looking for videos about artificial intelligence or looking for, this title. Let me fix the title because that's just the title of the file. But let's look at this title. All right, and this is what is this? It's my vidIQ link in here. So let me see what vidIQ says is a better title. I actually think that's not a bad title, but all right, I like this one. All right, so now the point is, if I uncheck this button of publish to subscription, notify feeds, it's not going to necessarily serve it to the people who are subscribed to my channel. It's going to serve it to people who are looking for salary negotiation tips for maximum gain or any of these keywords. Allegedly, unchecking that now gives me something to test to see how dormant are my subscribers, right? Versus just continuing to put it out there. So that's allegedly one thing. Now, the video that I almost just uploaded, I want to show y'all this because I still can't get over it. It's just only, I think it's like 2 minutes long. But it's valuable too. Okay.
Wondered how to negotiate your salary? Well, you're in the right place. In today's ever-competitive job market, it's essential to know your worth and how to express it effectively. Here's how you can do that in a few simple steps. First and foremost, understand your market value. This is crucial as it sets the benchmark for your negotiation. You can conduct research online or consult with industry peers to get a sense of what your skills and experience may command in the current job market. Next, always be prepared to negotiate. Having an initial offer doesn't mean it's the final one. For instance, if a company extends an offer of a $150,000 base salary with a 10% annual bonus, consider it your first chance to negotiate. You might respond with, I was hoping for a base of $160,000 and a 15% bonus. Is that possible? The company may come back with a counteroffer, such as we've discussed with HR and can offer a $155,000 base salary with a 10% bonus. This is your opportunity to negotiate a different component of your compensation. For example, you could ask if a signing bonus is a possibility. The final offer stage is your last chance to negotiate a small increase. If the company approves a $5,000 signing bonus, you might propose, I think we're really close to making this work. I'm willing to sign today if we can increase the signing bonus to $7,000. At this point, the company will either agree because a 1% pay increase is not worth losing a good candidate over, or they will insist that $5,000 is the highest they can go. Any negotiation beyond this point is generally not advisable unless you're in a high-level role. To summarize, knowing your market value, being prepared to negotiate, and understanding when to stop negotiating are vital steps in the salary negotiation process. By following these steps, you can ensure that you're not only paid what you're worth, but also that you're satisfied with your compensation package. Remember, the goal of negotiation is not just to increase your salary, but also to foster a positive working relationship with your future employer. So, negotiate wisely and good luck in your future career endeavors.
Okay, I'm back. Now, that entire video was made with AI, including the voiceover. I did not do the voiceover. Now, this is what had happened. As you know, I am still continuously looking for ways to make this content creation thing easier for someone who also has a 9 to 5 and is either creating between 5 to 9 or 5 to 9. In addition to my 9 to 5, though, I have volunteer obligations. Like, I have things I got to do. So this is from that platform that I talked about with the budgeting uh, video, and it's called nvideo.ai. And here's the kicker. Yes, Coach Sherry, that sounds like my voice because it cloned my voice. Now, I did not think that was going to actually work, okay? But when I went to the voices plugins, this when I originally made the video, I didn't even write the script, y'all. I love success stories, and Reddit is one of the places I love to look for success stories for different stuff, people telling things that work for them. So I said to myself, well, let me go look on Reddit for negotiation success stories. That was really going to be my content, was just, and then I think that's when I landed on, this thread of what are your salary and negotiation success stories or fail-proof methodologies. And I was reading through that, and someone gave that 3-step method. Like, well, I think these are the 3 points that you have to negotiate a salary. And I thought it was really good advice as someone who is typically on the other side of that negotiation. I'm like, yeah, this is what lands with me when someone's trying to negotiate that. Now, there's one thing that was missing, and that's the fact that they did not name that the entire interview period is a negotiation. You are negotiating from start to finish. But the content was valuable. So I thought, all right, that's the script I'm going to use. So I took those 3 points. It was like 3 quick paragraphs. And when I got to this voices section here, it said that you could clone your voice. And I'm like, yeah, right. It's not going to sound like my voice. So it made me record a quick audio. It said do it in the best quality material that you could. Now, I didn't use any good speaker or not speaker. I didn't use any good mic. I didn't use even the mic I'm using right now. Like, I just quickly on my phone's voice note recorded it, and I recorded my intro I've been using for this. I think I can play it. Hold on. This says Alicia's voice. Oh, that's to use it. But okay, I can only edit the name. It doesn't let me play it. But actually, what might let me play it is this is the voice memo that I used for it to clone me. Hey there, YouTube, Slasher Chicks and Slasher Dudes. My name's Alicia, and this is Slasher Chick TV, where we like to talk about growth mindset and negotiation strategies, so you never have to choose between this or that. You can always say yes to this/that. And I give NVIDIA AI the permission to use my voice in this workspace. Believe it or not, that's not actually 30 seconds. So I need to keep recording so that I can actually clone my voice. And I don't think this is the highest quality equipment that I could have used, but let's see how this works. Okay, so yeah, you have to give them permission. You're supposed to do a 30-second recording, and they say, yeah, use the highest quality material. So if I had it to do over, I would have done it better to take to make sure my breathing was better, right? So you couldn't hear those every time I took a breath in, etc. That the AI picked up. But what I did then next is I took that. Now this is the finished product, so I guess I'm gonna see it. But yeah, I put that and I put it in the prompt, and so it could actually. Do I want to have it do this? It could actually regenerate another video here, but I'm just gonna quickly show it. But let me find someone. Someone give me another topic in the chat on what would be a different topic we could do it on, and I will find something good from Reddit to use. Let's see. And again, we've talked about this as we talk about the AI and stuff, right? None of this can be done without a human touch. You can't just trust it. The content I named that I picked was also because I knew from life experience that it was verifiable. Okay, I will look that up, Marlene, because surprisingly, I found Reddit to be a place of comfort. I'm telling you, because I really changed my Reddit algorithm. When my cat died last year. Oh, wow. It's been over a year. It's going on 2 years. And I think there might be something of value for some grief support. So let's see what we find. Now, this is not, this is actually, it looks like a good thread because it's actually just people sharing their stories. And I'm sure that's also helpful just to have someone to talk to. But if I were to look for something, I'm just going to, I don't know what's going to come up when I search for this, but okay, I think this might have been a thread I had been to before because it immediately went to the thing. But I think for me, because everyone grieves differently, right? But I think oftentimes people are looking for just that reinforcement, that reminder that when they're having a harder day with their grief, that grief is not linear. You don't go through the stages of grief, and once you've gotten through denial and you're at anger, it's like, I'm never going to go back to denial again. That's not that's not how it works. And even that doesn't talk about the times that you forget. I This obviously doesn't happen with every relationship, but there'll be some relationships where when you lose a person, but there's so many things that you were used to doing out of habit that you forget they're not there to do it, and you go to do the thing. Or I almost teared up because I had where it made me, the moments you forget, was I had a coworker um that this happens with her frequently. I will see someone out on the street and I will go to say her name, to yell out and say, Barbara, so I can say hi. And then I remember, oh, there is no possible way that is Barbara. And so that is a reminder. Yeah, it is not a linear thing. All right, this one is a little. Javier can go. Okay, this is also still people changing their stories. But to your point, yeah, sometimes just talking about it does feel better. I would also then recommend, believe it or not, Reddit. Since there are these, grieving threads, there's a grief support thread. Um, well, I do think, like with any other, a grief, a grieving, I do think with like any other algorithm, just like with Reddit, it's what you're going to get back more of what you put in. Um, as far as if you train it on what to feed you back. So, like, even though you might be choosing to go for something um, like grieving, you're not going to get recommended the trolling threads that are there. Um, but yeah, exactly. Where you were so used to just calling him and talking to him that it's like, oh my gosh, I, it's hard when you forget. That is for sure. Because that reminder when you do remember, um, is a stinky one too. There was, yeah, a particular one thing that I was looking for, but it didn't. It was like a particular kind of poem or something to that effect, that I was looking for, but that did not come up. Oh, wait, this might be it. Well, they come up, but they're not in the text. I need the text format to easily be able to kind of pop it in there and um, to do that. That's great that you still had his voicemail too. Be able to hear his voice, and be able to at least have that um, not be something that you forget, because that's something, too, that is a sad thing about grief is like you can forget what someone sounds like, or um, forget, like, exactly, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna think of something else at the moment. But my condolences for everyone who's grieving right now, because I know Coach Cherry is as well. And truthfully and honestly, and why it's always like you should, I feel like people always need to keep in mind, and I have to remind myself of this at times too, you never know what someone's going through. But because of the nature of being human, someone is always grieving something. And the severity of that grief is relative, um but one of the things that I really has made adulting so much more palatable for me is accepting that there is a grieving period for change. um And so some people might be grieving losses in their life, like when they lose people. Some people might be grieving a loss of a job, or a loss of a marriage, where you are grieving the loss of the life that you had planned for yourself that no longer exists. That is also can be, jarring for people too, trying to manage through that. And so really at every point in their life someone is likely grieving something, and so just remember, you never know what somebody's going through. So try your best to be kind. And to be clear, I said kind, not nice. I didn't say you have to be nice, but we do have to be kind. Now, nice, I have a negative connotation associated with that. I associate nice with being like push pushed over. So I don't think people have to be nice, but I do think we have to be kind with one another. I think that is what humanity needs. Right. Have empathy, give grace, think about your impact and intent before you do shit. Um, yeah, exactly, Marlene. That's something you would have to agree the fact if you had one expectation, um, and then that changed without your ability to control it. Um, but see, and that's the other thing that I think that I also try to remind people too, right? Because we're talking about these words and they have definitions that we could look up in Webster, but they are also still relative. Like what's respectful to you might not be respectful to someone else. And so I'm also kind of like, live and let live. That if you find that respectful, but I don't, that's fine. You can do that. Just do that over there. Um, Coach Sherry's topic of the boundaries, I really love that you touched on this today because I also like talking about this with people of like, boundaries are not boundaries are not for other people, or that's how I usually describe it. Like when people are, say to you like, oh, they always overstep my boundaries. No, no, no. That's not what happens because boundaries aren't for other people. You may be moving your boundaries, which makes it no longer a boundary. It's now a negotiation. Um, but like if you instead of you can't just tell someone like, oh, if you keep talking to me that way, I'm going to stop talking to you and like think that's a boundary. What happens is if they keep talking to you that way, you stop talking to them. That's it. And I loved that you touched on that, Coach Sherry, on that enforcing boundaries typically requires actions. And it might be actions you don't like. It might be actions that lead you to grieve because now you have to grieve that relationship because I really liked being friends with that person, but they don't really like respecting my boundaries. So I have to cut them off. You might grieve the concert tickets y'all bought. Sell them. Reached the point of live stream delirium, I think. But I'm grateful to have made day 32. Now, I one thing I won't grieve, and one thing that is a boundary for me, is figuring out how to get rid of these lost subscribers. Now, I'm sincere about this. I know this is a thing that I can do. Yeah, sell them tickets. Um, all right. Well, actually, maybe let me rephrase that. I believe this is a thing that I can do within YouTube guidelines. There's probably maybe there's some YouTube guideline things about it. But I'm not giving up until I figure out how to solve for this because ultimately the numbers aren't going to lie, and that's what I'm trying to work on. So when I was saying or trying to explain kind of how I'd like to use my community tab, it is to reinforce the things that I want to be searched for because it's another opportunity to feed the algorithm. Now, the other thing I learned about YouTube algorithm today is it's not only looking at what people like to view, in terms of like how frequently they view that type of content or etc. It's also looking at what they like to view, where they like to view it. So for example, what they like to view on their laptop versus their phone versus their television. And I don't know if you've never ever noticed that, but I log into my account on all of those devices, and what I get served as content is different on every single one. And it's different on every single one because I legitimately watch different types of content on it. I watch a lot of really, and by when it's what's another word for long form? Because if it's like over an hour, I'm probably watching it on my television before I'm going to watch it on my laptop. Um, I watch more shorts on mobile. So I get served a lot more shorts in my feed, right? But I get served a lot more live streams on my TV because that's what I watch, the really long form content. I'll use one example is like I got served a D'Angelo Wallace video the other day. I love D'Angelo Wallace. If you don't know who he is, he's a young commentator. He's got like 3 channels, each with maybe like more than a million. Um, and he's like one of my he actually probably is my favorite commentator. And one of my things about D'Angelo Wallace's videos is that because they are well, um yeah, I watch live streams on my TV. That's a lot of times. That's also why I'm limited to comment. Right. I don't, if I'm watching live stream on the TV, I might have it on my phone, pause so that I can comment if I want to comment. But usually, if I'm watching a live stream on my TV, it's because I want to be able to listen in and consume, but I'm doing other stuff. I'm not trying to comment anyway. I'm working, or you know what I mean? So, that's usually when I will put it on my TV. Um, but because I watch live streams on my TV, my recommendations feeds when I go onto YouTube on my TV are other people's live streams. And so then I get recommended live streams that are content creators I've never seen, but they're about the topics that I search for or have searched for or have been watching live streams about. Now, if you have been in one of the lives previously, you know I like to search about the true crime stuff. And there is a young lady who passed away in my home state of South Carolina. She's from Myrtle Beach, and she was the first lady of a church in which her husband gave an entire sermon before he announced that his wife had passed away the night before, from what he described as self-induced, not self-inflicted. And it's just very, um, it's not sounding good. I That's all I can say right now because I'm not accusing anyone of anything. But bottom line is like that's all my recommendations are on my television right now. Okay, are all about Micah Miller, what happened to Micah Miller, because that's what the live streams I've been watching there. Okay. But when I go onto my mobile, the first thing that I'm recommended is actually um, YouTube content stuff. Uh, so like Nala Wright is doing a creator Q&A session, and then what's after this? And then it's like entertainment tonight. It's like random stuff that I don't know what this algorithm is doing. I don't know what this algorithm. It's not the same as that algorithm. And it's clear. Um it's also clear to me because the moment I search something that, or at least that their algorithm is changing, like the moment I search something, it will immediately start filling my recommendations with that topic. And there was a time when that would take a few videos, right? And the most things that I would be recommended would be stuff I hadn't watched from people I'm actually subscribed to. So it is definitely clear that the algorithm does what it wants to. But Coach Sherry, to that point, really like shorts and long form is already like having 2 different channels, if you ask me. But I think just with, with any of these platforms, I think we can never forget that they are a business, right? And so on any of them, these social media platforms, like whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the algorithm is going to change. It's going to change and adapt to either they're going to adjust it on their own for market adjustments, right? To help them do the things they need to do. Or it's going to change based on the data that it's getting because the behavior is changing, and whatever data that behavior fed the algorithm is now shifting it. But it's in, like businesses, it's an organism. It's being fed. So I don't think that there's like a magic bullet that, like, oh, you just do this and you figured out the YouTube algorithm or anything. But what I do think is that if you want to either leverage YouTube as a business, right? Like content creation as a business, or leverage YouTube as a marketing engine for your offline business, then the algorithm cannot be ignored. That that part, I think, is true. So that's why I need to figure this out. If it's not a thing, that's fine. But I would just like to know. Um, but like, for example, when I say the algorithm, can't be ignored, is this was the other thing I did find out for sure, Coach Sherry. Is this part here that I had asked you all about before. Does anyone know what this is? What I did learn for sure is that this here in the top searches is what people that are viewing your videos, these are the other things they've been searching for. So, yes, they are saying it's likely that if you make more videos along these types of things, you will get more people that are searching for your content. These are what people were watching maybe before they watched one of your videos. Now, this 7 a.m. morning vlog, all right, I feels this one thumbnail feels like my target. I like to think about growth and being ambitious type thing. All right, they might watch this. They might watch some of this other thing. Whatever this is right here, when I drove to this area, I thought it was deserted, but there were residents. This is probably not the viewer I'm targeting. I want to keep working on my algorithms so something like this does not show up as to where they came from before they came to my content. Now, content gaps it's giving of like, hey, people that watch your stuff also look for this kind of stuff, and there's like stuff missing there. You could fill in this gap here and make content around these things, and that might get you some more views. I don't know where this search came from, but apparently it's a topic people are searching that aligns with the other things I put, whatever content people are actually watching. So this is a valuable section as far as the channel analytics research if you're trying to figure out what do I play with in terms of the topics I like to talk about, topics people are watching, from my channel, and what I actually know stuff about to figure out where you want to go next. See, I don't. So that when I drove to this area, it was deserted, but there were residents. Like, I don't even want to click on that video because I don't want to. And I know if I click off within 30 seconds, it's not necessarily gonna capture that I like it. But I don't even want you to think I like the title. I'm not even trying to give you that impression. So yeah, because I'm trying to continue to train my algorithms to only feed me the stuff I want to consume. And thus keep me in the places where people are served what I want to consume as well. So yeah, it just at least gives you something to test, right? It's not necessarily going to be a foolproof method, but at least you're not guessing in the dark. So that's that's the analytics rabbit hole I was down today, and obviously am still going to be down until I um solve for the things. But as I learn along the way, I will certainly share. And if you are interested in checking out, yeah, the AI tool I mentioned, it's in video.ai is their AI version, and then their main website, though, where I made the budget one, is just in video.io. If you go to .io, it's still going to like give ads for the AI, because the AI one is their like beta. That's their new one. But Nvidio.io has actually been around for quite some time now, and I would say they were actually using their AI, like some AI stuff, before it was like hot. They just didn't have like the full suite like they do here. Um, but that's what kept me interested today. And how do I take this uh, channel to monetization over time, and continuing to make the most out of this, the end of this 90 days, but like have a real plan for what happens after my 90 days of live streaming and what's next. So I'll continue to share with y'all as I, go along this path and see what I'm learning. But I appreciate you coming out. I don't have an outro still, so I'll just say thank you and good night. Have a great week, everyone. I don't even know how to end the stream. Oh, here we go.